What if Nintendo actually made a Switch 2 instead of having all of us just pre-order the underwhelming Switch Pro? The Nintendo Switch 2 has had 8 years of development, and I have to say, I'm underwhelmed, but not because Nintendo didn't make a fun console. It's because they could have done a lot more. So this video might get a little dicey for those that love Nintendo. Now, I'm not telling you that the Nintendo Switch 2 sucks. What I'm saying is that there is a lot more that I believe Nintendo could have done in an 8-year development cycle that we could have gotten from features to make this truly next gen. Now, a lot of what Nintendo did so far are features that we're all going to enjoy a little bit more. We've got bigger Joy-Cons, a lot larger screen. We have updated graphics. We are definitely getting in to the next gen era. But when it comes to Nintendo, they have always been known for their awesome features and innovation. And instead of just giving us a bulkier Switch, the Pro, a true Switch 2 needed these features. Okay, this is the first Switch 2 video that I've made only because there's been so much commotion within the community. But at this point, I felt like this was really necessary to talk about these new features that could have been implemented on the Switch 2 to make it next gen. But the reason I bring this up is because we have an elephant in the room, and that is that Nintendo has a new feature with mouse controls that there is absolutely no tech demo for that is included in the Switch. Now, I understand the argument is that the game itself is worthy of a price point. Let's go back. As everyone knows, PlayStation had Astrobot. The Astro's Playroom was incredible. A tech demo that you would never get anywhere else, and it was embedded on the console. I even played that as what felt like a core game for so long, I forgot it was just a demo on the console, especially with how robust that game was. If Nintendo was to do the same thing, it would really give people a reason to pick up the Switch, being $450 price point, that there is something that they could play that day with it that didn't cost them an extra arm and leg at this point. Now, I'm not going to get into the price war that we're about to start. That should be another video, but Nintendo, include a freaking demo with all of your new features in it. If you want to do some specialized camera stuff, you want to show new features on the Joy-Cons, or you want to show us the graphic update, fantastic. Make it a built-in game. Make it part of the system. That's the only way Nintendo should have done it. I'm sticking to those guns. Okay, Nintendo, so you made a cool camera. Nobody cares. At this point, I will say that was probably my most underwhelming feature that was revealed during the trailer, was that there was a camera attachment that you can purchase that nobody will want to use. At the end of the day, I understand the sense of community, network, and being able to play these games with others at the same time, but most people don't even want to answer the phone, let alone be on camera in this next generation. I have a feeling this will fall to the wayside just like the Kinect or the Move. What that means is Nintendo needed to kill the camera and give us true next generation features and apps like voice recognition. What that would mean is Switch, turn on, and the device turns on. Switch, play music, and it goes to possibly a music app. Or we have Switch, start GameCube, and before you know it, you're already playing before you need to go through the menu setting, the systems, start anything. That would feel truly next gen in a world where we live with smartphones all the time and devices like Alexa and Echo. I apologize, I just turned all of yours on. What that means is we're able to quickly access all of these things via voice, which is truly next gen. So there was rumors during Nintendo's original inception that there was a bunch of attachments that were available to the Switch 2. Now we have come to find that the USB that is on top can also be a charging port, but as you can tell, it really was for the camera at this point. Now, Nintendo could still have an ace up their sleeves if they were to provide us with a secondary screen attachment. Now, there has been rumors that something like this is in the works, but if Nintendo truly moved forward with this design and gave you a possible attachment on top as a secondary screen, that would open up our entire library of DS and 3DS titles, which you know Nintendo loves their money, so why not relicense, reissue, and resell those same games for the Switch 2 by having a secondary screen attachment. This would be easy for Nintendo because all you would have to do is take the Switch horizontally, flip it vertically just like the original Switch 1 third-party flip grip, Joy-Cons go on the sides, and now you have a display screen on top, split that with a touch screen on the bottom, all done on the original Switch 2 screen. This is an easy fix for Nintendo. It is a way that they can still give you 3DS and 2DS games, but you don't have to have any other feature or attachment done to it. You switch the Switch to vertical, and now you're playing 2DS and 3DS games. That would feel next gen. So it's 2025, and the biggest thing we all hate from our mobile devices is the fact that the batteries never last as long as you want them to. But the technology is there. What would have made the Switch 2 the next gen console to get when it comes to portability is a battery life that lasts longer than the 3 to 4 hour mark. Can you imagine actually having a true game session for 8 hours via handheld mode and not worry about the battery dying for you? That could be your airport stay for a couple hours, your flight for 3 hours, and your airport when you come back waiting for your luggage. That is next gen when it comes to everything. Now, people that are gonna say, well, Pac-Man case, that's gonna make the battery too big. It doesn't matter. They've already increased the screen size. It doesn't matter at this point how big that depth is gonna be. They've touted the resemblance of the depth being close to the original Switch, but we don't care. It's already too big to put in your pocket, and you're probably gonna have it in a carrying case anyway, so might as well have given us a little bit more depth to that Switch and given us the long battery life. That screams to me to have a next gen device. A battery should last longer than the 3 to 4 hours on the games they're already touting are probably gonna be large anyway. Now, this last one for me is one that I have nostalgia for the Wii U. And the nostalgia there is having the gamepad in front of you as an auxiliary device. That means not only touchpad, that also means a microphone or using it as an item or resource function. Those things made the Wii U a really fun console on specific games. And in fact, if you want to know why it's so cool, you can hit the link to this video. That is my Wii U 6 Essentials video, which will go over the reason why a Wii U was so important and how its functions operated within the games. Nintendo Switch 2 can do that all over again if they would have just included screen casting, or if they would have buffed that dock enough for there to be a wireless signal back and forth. That would have felt like they finally gave the nod to the Wii U that was shunned for so many years on top of a Switch 2 release that would have been mind-blowing to have that Wii U functionality. Not only can you play 2, but you would be able to do applications like Mario Kart where someone gets the screen and Mario Kart where someone plays on the gamepad and neither of you can see each other's screen. That is the epitome of next gen to me, is being able to have a feature like that, which they've already done on the Wii U. Didn't seem like that too difficult of a feature to include on the Switch 2. Now, when I started the video, I said Switch Pro, and I know that hit some people raw, but if you think about an updated battery life, an attachment, or the ability to flip to play DS and 3DS games, for you to be able to kill the camera and just have voice recognition apps on top of the screencasting like the Wii U, that is a next gen console, and that is what the Switch 2 should have been. Now, can they still implement some of this stuff? after the fact of release? Sure. We've all bought the pre-order of the Switch 2, so at this point, hopefully it blows most of us away. But if it doesn't, I feel like there are some features Nintendo can still implement that will get us there. So what's up, fam? Do you guys agree with any of these features? Would you have liked to see any of these features on? Or what are some other features you wish was in the Nintendo Switch 2? Because a bigger screen, more powerful, a little bit bigger Joy-Cons with some mouse functionality still feels like a Switch Pro to me with 8 years of development, and that's what we got? Could we have gotten the true next gen that we all wanted? Let me know, and if you guys like our videos, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.